Plugging in sound.
All right. Refresh and make sure video's up. I'm not. Okay. Come on. There we go. I don't know. I can't. This computer is making me insane. Click. Okay. But I'm frozen up.
Gotcha, good sound. It says Russ.
Okay, I'm frozen. We're having technical issues here, folks. Hold on. Somehow the power went out while we were away, and
Now you're talking.
all right, but I can't. Yeah. It.
Myra can hear you.
Okay.
Russ can hear you.
All right.
Wife's on.
Fingers crossed. I hope that's all right. Looks like I'm caught up. There I am. Okay.
Special shout out.
All right.
Surprise.
All right. Thank you. Welcome. Sorry we're a few minutes late. Apparently while we were in Montana, the power must have went out here and all of our equipment was shut down. And we had to reboot everything. And with our cybersecurity stuff that we have in place, the computers tend to be a little slow because they have to go through all their processes to make sure that we are maintaining the government's cybersecurity protocols. Okay. Let's see. Russ, how you doing? My wife is here. Hi, honey.
Thanks to the boss who brought it.
Yeah, right. She made a special trip to bring me something that I forgot at home this morning, and appreciate you doing that. Luckily, she was coming up this way to get her nails done. So, the price of gas, I wasn't turning around and driving back home this morning. Okay. So, so we're back in the studio. We weren't here last week. Unfortunately, we couldn't go live from the range out in Montana. We were out in the boondocks, and there was just no service there. We took some pictures, did a little video that'll be posted or should be posted. Yeah, we didn't post our video from the range. The after range video, so we'll get that up tomorrow. And we had a great time in Montana. Montana is a beautiful state. The mountains and the rivers and all the just beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to check out Northwest Montana, I highly recommend it. We didn't get a chance to go to a lot of restaurants. We were at the conference, and they had meals every day at the conference, and it was kind of networking opportunities. So beyond Monday when we were on our own, we didn't. Yeah, we went to the rodeo, and we had fantastic barbecue at the rodeo, and then we did the sponsor product showcase, and then we did the range day, and they have meals, and so you can't waste the meals as a networking opportunity to sit and talk with all the media folks and the stuff that goes on there. That was the reason we were there. So we didn't get to go to a lot of places and eat. We did make it to the ice cream place though. Yeah, no, it was a good show. It was a good time. We went through about 500-600 rounds of ammo at the range. Got to show off our stuff to a bunch of folks, and looking forward to get a chance to go back to Montana again someday and take the wife. And I told her I want to move there, but she ain't having none of that. Yeah. I don't know. The guy told me, he said, 6 weeks of summer. That's it, right? Mid-July to August. It was snowing. It snowed while we were there. That tells you, right? That tells you. It didn't snow in the town, but when we went to bed at night, there was a little bit of snow up on the mountains. When we woke up in the morning, the mountains were white. So it snowed pretty heavy up in the mountains. But beautiful place and a great event. We had a great time. Like I said, we got to shoot a bunch of guns. And so we'll talk a little bit about gun cleaning here. I'm not going to get crazy with what I got to do here, but I do have a dirty one here. And so we'll talk a little bit about doing a basic gun cleaning to put a gun away, right? Which is really what I'm looking for, is to put it back into storage for a little while until we use it again. And just get it a basic cleaning, because it's only had a few hundred rounds through it, so it's not terrible. So I always like to separate the two, right? It makes it easier to work with. I have a nickel boron bolt carrier group here, so that makes it a little easier to clean up. I'm going to lay out my stuff here. And, you know, you can see I'm fairly dirty, right? You know, even with good ammo, you tend to get dirty pretty quick. So, and like I said, I'm not looking to do a crazy, thorough sonic cleaning here. You know, I do want to try one of those sonic cleaners. My buddy Brian, if he's on here, he said he actually used his wife's jewelry cleaner, and Danger Will Robinson, right? No, he said and it actually worked pretty good. And you know, you can pick one of them up in Walmart for about 50, 60 bucks. And some of the sonic cleaners are, you know, quite pricey. So, you know, we're gonna get in here and wipe it down as best we can. Yeah, James, Alaska's my next, for sure. My next on the bucket list is Montana, or Alaska. So I'm going to pull out a little brush here so I can clean up into my star chamber. So I'm just getting a brush up in here. It's not too bad. That's actually really clean. I did a good thorough cleaning of it the last time, so a couple hundred rounds isn't a horrible. And haven't tried one of these yet. This is a new experience for me. I don't know if anybody has ever used a bore snake before, but we put a little bit of spread a little bore cleaner on it here. We got some products we won at the banquet at the silent auction, and this is, like I said, a new experience for me here. So we're going to see how, I watched a little YouTube video beforehand to see how this all is supposed to work. And it's a pull-through bore cleaner. And you drop that in there. And then you pull that through. Wow. Impressive. Very impressive. We'll run that through one more time just to make sure. But wow. I'm fairly impressed. Now, I was reading online that these tend to get dirty fast, and that you should replace them every once in a while. Yeah, that shines, man. Wow. Yeah, great for range cleaning. Just a quick, you know, when you're really shooting for accuracy and looking for that hunting accuracy, you know, you're always going to be shooting that first shot when you're hunting with a clean gun. And as a gun fouls up, the point of impact can change. So if you're shooting for extreme accuracy, you want to clean your barrel out every now and then, every few shots, to make sure that you're getting the same accuracy, and you know, also letting your barrel cool down, because you're going to be shooting a cold barrel on the first shot. So the hotter your barrel gets, the more it's going to change your point of impact too. So if you're shooting for extreme hunting accuracy, you want to take a shot or two, you know, run a bore snake through it, clean the bore, let it cool down a little bit, and then shoot again, so that you're getting the representation of what it is you're trying to do. Our camera looks fuzzy. It's like your lens is dirty or something. Probably got a fingerprint on it. But if you use one of these, it'll, yeah. Yeah, we'll put a little bit of this cleaner on here, and we'll wipe this bolt carrier group down. Now, if you've not had a chance to mess with a nickel boron, I'll disappear here for a second as my camera guy wipes the lens down. Oh,
There we go.
okay. I'm back.
Is that any better?
Yeah. Russ said he thought he needed glasses. It was a little foggy. Must have had a fingerprint or something on it. So, you know, like I said, I'm not doing a complete teardown of the bolt carrier group either, because, you know, at a couple hundred rounds, it really doesn't need to be completely. But this nickel boron coating on the bolt carrier group, yeah, I mean, you can see and it just comes off really nice. It cleans up really quickly. I'm happy with the extra $50 or $60 that these things cost for the ease of cleaning. And then we're gonna make sure we got no major junk and garbage in our trigger pocket. You know, the AR gets a lot of stuff blown back into the system, obviously, being a direct impingement gas operated system. So, you know, stuff can go everywhere, and you'd be surprised how even back into your buffer system can get dirty over time. Not too bad, a little bit. We'll clean up our charging handle here. Okay. Now we're going to put a little bit of oil. I trimmed my fingernails, and of course, now I need them, and I don't have them. We'll drop a little oil in the bore there. A little bit in there. We'll work that in a little bit. We'll drop a couple drops in there. That's the channel in the charging handle. Now we'll put a little on our bolt. A little okay. There's that. We're going to put our spring back in. Well, like I said, this is just a rough cleaning to get it cleaned up, get the bulk of the carbon and mess out of it, oil it up, and get it ready to put back into the gun safe. Imagine we won't be too long before we're using them again. Kind of a neat little thing here. I haven't tried this yet. So this is a grease pen from Otis Technologies. And this is a 5.56 that I'm working on here. So you push the button here and grease comes out. And it's like a little paintbrush. And you can literally paint grease. Give it a couple pumps. And like I said, you're literally just painting grease. Kind of a cool little we've all seen the injectors where you can squeeze a little bit, and this is kind of along the same principle, but you get to paint it on with a brush so you don't have the big thick globs going on like you do with a syringe. Okay. Let's make sure the barrel's coated. Okay. That's it. That's kind of just a quick basic cleaning to get one put away that's had a little bit of a range day, and get it ready to put back in the gun case. Well, yeah, this is rust prevent, bore cleaner, all shooter's choice, all from Otis Technologies. So we're going to see. This is my first time trying this stuff, and I'll let you know in a little while how it works. As long as I don't get no rust and corrosion. We'll clean this a little bit. All right. Okay, so let's see. What else did we want to talk about today? Oh, yeah. I got a new toy yesterday. After 13 and a half months of waiting, and then an additional 2 weeks of waiting to for the tax stamp to come to my FFL, I have my new toy. I just picked it up last night. I have not fired it yet. I have my paperwork with it. This is the Dead Air Nomad 30. And there it is. Comes with the instruction manual and a pair of wrenches to change out the back plate. This is the 5/8 24 back plate that comes with it. They do make a back plate that you can change out that is half 28. They are currently out of stock on those. And honestly, I've opted to go a different route. And I have gotten the accessories for the chemo system. And what you do is you take this back plate off, you put this on, then you use the different muzzle devices on your guns, and you can swap this thing from gun to gun in a matter of 2 minutes, less than, a minute. It comes off by hand, put it on the next one, tighten it up, and you don't have to keep changing this back plate in and out. You can put it on whatever gun you want, as long as it's up to the caliber recommended, and it's a very quick interchange system. So I'm not going to get into all that here yet today. I am out next week. I'll be in Kansas City at the National Sheriff's Association show. So, yeah, I'll see dirty now, right? With a suppressor on, all that back pressure coming into the system. They get quite dirty. Guns get quite dirty with a suppressor on them. So we've got some content here for a few weeks. Obviously, swapping parts out. Shooting this thing, getting oriented with it, cleaning the gun after shooting this thing. But so here's my 6.5 Grendel. You know, and if you did want to do a direct, obviously you can just directly thread this thing on and then tighten it up with the wrenches. But that's it. Super excited to have a little fun with this thing and see what it's all about. So, yeah, like I said, I won't be here next week, but in 2 weeks we're going to look at setting this thing up with the chemo system and then setting up a couple guns with the different muzzle devices so you can see how quickly you can change this thing out from one gun to the next, you know, right at the range, wherever it might be. So, really looking forward to having some fun with that thing after 13 and a half months. So, let me see what I got. A little cheat sheet behind my camera guy there to make sure we're covering all of our topics. Our new website is just about fully functional. The latest thing that is coming up on there is the A Architect profile, the evolution of an A Architect. You know, we talked about all the different levels over the last several weeks, and now there's going to be a form if you're not sure where you fall into that evolution, 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can fill out the form, and we'll get you back the information that kind of tells you where we think you are. You know, it's kind of a little subjective, but I think it's a pretty comprehensive list of the things that you should know and want to know as you journey from maybe wanting to own an AR or owning your first AR all the way to building really cool stuff in multiple calibers and multiple configurations and multiple platforms. So if you get a chance, go on to the website, check out the what is it? AR-profile. BYOAR.com/AR-profile. And you can, yeah, and we'd love some feedback, right? Tell us what you think. What does it need? What would you take away? What would you add? You know, make sure all of our questions make sense. So we'd love your feedback on that. And so let me think. We talked about our silencer. We talked about Montana. We did a little cleaning. The profiles. So 4th of July is coming up. We just did a nice little giveaway for Memorial Day. We gave away an ARV 7.5-inch upper. Yeah, about 9.5, right? Yeah, way beyond level 5 with all the guns we've built, right, Russ? So we're ready for the 4th of July giveaway, just like I'm sure you guys are. And we are going to build a complete upper, 16-inch rifle upper, 223 5.56 in, and we are going to outfit it with our red, white, and blue Old Glory battle worn handguard for the 4th of July. So next week when Andy's in here and I'm in Kansas City, he'll get the sign up started for that. And then when I'm back the week after talking suppressor stuff, which will be the day after we're off on the Monday for the 4th of July. So Tuesday when we're back in, we'll give that complete upper away. That's going to be barrel, flash muzzle device, handguard, gas tube, upper, charging handle, bolt carrier group, everything you need to drop on a lower and be ready to rock and roll. So we'll get that sign up started next week. Okay. I'm going to take this thing back off of here and put it back in the case and then get it put in the gun safe, because these things are highly valuable and need to be locked up along with the guns, and obviously you have to keep the paperwork with it. So I was, I asked the question at the gun shop last night to make sure I understood, do I have to have this paperwork with me at all times when I have the suppressor with me if I'm going to the range or whatever. Now, they don't recommend having the actual paperwork with you. Having copies of it or pictures on your phone, put them into a folder on your phone. And like Russ said, take a photo of it. You're going to take a photo of your cover page, right? And then you're going to want to get a photo of the actual stamp. And you're going to carry that with you. And then the only person that can ask, or the only people that can ask you for that paperwork and to see it and demand to see it is the ATF. So if some range officer has an ego bigger than his head and comes over to you and tells you he needs to see your stamp because you're shooting a suppressor on his range, you don't have to show it to him. You certainly can if you want to appease him and get him to go away, but you are not required to show this information to anybody other than an ATF agent. Okay? Just so you know. And then, make sure if you're crossing state lines, obviously, that you have your stamps with you or the information with you. I believe with short-barreled rifles, you have to notify the ATF that you're crossing state lines. I don't believe you have to with a silencer, but what can it hurt, right? So we'll get this put away. Okay, so I do have another podcast. I'm actually the guest on a podcast. Okay, I'm correct on that, Russ. Thank you. Right, the short-barreled rifle, you have to let them know that you're crossing state lines. With a suppressor, you don't. So I thought that's what the way that it fell, but I'm on a podcast. It's going to be a pre-recorded podcast, so you won't be able to tune into it until it actually posts. It's on Spotify and iHeartRadio and all these. He's on a couple different platforms, YouTube. It's called All About Guns. They contacted me and asked me to be a guest on the show and talk about AR stuff and AR parts. And so I'm going to do that here in about 15, 20 minutes. Hot in here with these lights on. It's 92 degrees outside or something out in the shop today. It's hot out there. So makes me miss Montana. Got a little warm that last day. Yeah, it wasn't bad though. So get these rags thrown in the dirty rag bin. Got everything buttoned up here, and as soon as we get off broadcasting, I'll get it all put away. I'm going to take this up with me so I have some show and tell stuff up in the studio. I've got a couple guns up there already and a bunch of parts for the podcast. So, yeah, I mentioned the Marksman for Vets program. Yeah, I'll try to squeeze that in there, Russ. Talk about our charity work. We work with we do several other things. We've done the Fallen Outdoors. We've done some stuff for them. We obviously do some stuff with Russ. So, yeah, we'll throw that in there. Talk about some of the stuff we do there. So, again, I won't be here next week. I'm not sure what. Andy will have something figured out. And I'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll dive into this suppressor and see what it takes to get this thing all outfitted up to get it out on the range and start throwing some rounds through it. Yeah, I know you're part of the Fallen Outdoor as well, Russ. I think you're the one that turned me on to that. So I think that's it for this week, right? Okay, so thanks for joining me, and I'll try to. I'm flying solo at the National Sheriff's Show. So I don't know if I'll get a lot of time to walk around and check stuff out, but I'll certainly try to and report back on any cool stuff that I see and get some Kansas City barbecue.
And the 5th, you'll be back to do the drawing.
Yeah, and then July 5th, right? Monday's actually the 4th. Okay, so July 5th, we'll be back here to do a drawing with the complete American flag handguard upper. So see you guys in 2 weeks. And remember, you don't have to be an expert to build your own AR, to upgrade it, or maintain it. We're here to help you do that. We'll see you in a couple weeks.